Buenos días. Hoy es el 1 de mayo. Este es la clase número 9, session number 9. To begin today, we're going to do a quick review of last lesson, session 8, where you are asked to use these 3 expressions, tener que, tener ganas de, and ir a in an infinitive. Each of those 3 expressions had a different meaning and a different use, and this will help you with that review. Okay, so take a second. I will ask the question, and I'd like you to come up with a response. You can answer orally, or you can write these in your notebook. ¿Qué tienes que hacer en tu casa? ¿Qué tienes ganas de hacer en tu casa? ¿Qué vas a hacer en tu casa este fin de semana? You'll notice for each of these, the verb in the question is in the to form, tienes and vas, so your responses should be in the yo. We take that verb and we make it in the yo form. So for the first one, we say yo, sorry about that. We would say yo tengo que, and then the infinitive of whatever we have to do at home. So yo tengo que lavar la ropa. ¿Qué tienes ganas de hacer? What you have a desire to do. Tengo ganas de dormir en casa. I have a desire to sleep. ¿Qué vas a hacer en tu casa este fin de semana? Este fin de semana voy a, I am going to, or I will, pasar la aspiradora. Okay, and last session, we had talked about the differences between each of those expressions, and I think it was worth reviewing one more time. Today we're going to look at a new verb form called the present progressive tense. The present progressive tense is the same thing as ing in English, and it's actually formed very much the same way as well. You have this attachment in this assignment today, so go ahead and open it so that you can follow along and complete the notes while I go over them. Here you'll see at the top it says the present progressive is used to tell what people are doing or what is happening right now. Again, you see the ing on the end of doing and happening. In order to do that, you see the example here. Estamos lavando. We are washing the car. So the present progressive is really quite easy. It requires the use of the verb estar, and the verb estar would be conjugated. It's your conjugated verb based on your subject. So whoever it is that is doing the action at that moment, you would conjugate estar using the 6-pack you see here. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, and están. The second piece of the ing is the ing form of the verb. In Spanish, if you have an AR verb, you drop the AR, like here in preparar, and over here in hablar, and instead you add ando. And again, that's for all AR verbs. If you have an ER verb, like comer, or an IR verb, so this is both for ER and IR verbs, comer or escribir, you drop the ending and you add iendo. I-E-N-D-O. Okay, and again, estar is conjugated or changed to agree with the subject, the person who is doing the action. But this word, the ing form, always stays the same. Hablando is always speaking. It just depends on who is doing the speaking. Yo estoy hablando, I am speaking. Tú estás hablando, you are speaking. Él está hablando, he is speaking. Nosotros estamos hablando, we are speaking, and ustedes están hablando, all of you are speaking. Again, in each of those examples, hablando does not change, just the form of the verb estar. Okay, here in the modelo, in part A, it says look at each sentence, underline the form of the estar, and circle the present participle following the model. So you can do this on your own. In the modelo, you would underline está, and then you would circle lavando. Okay, and you'll notice that here in this lesson today, they're using the quehaceres, or the chores, which was our vocab in session 8. So this is great review. Okay, and then in part B, it asks you to complete each sentence with the appropriate verb of the form estar. So here you already have the ing form of your verb, and they're just asking you to conjugate estar in the blank. Okay, and again, you can do this on your own, and I will check them when you submit. Before we look at the second page, these are some examples using our chores. So for example, here it says, ¿Qué están haciendo? What is everyone doing? And in each picture, I give you a subject. So this is for you to do a little bit of review on your own. So for example, in number 1, I would respond with yo estoy, estar is the correct form with yo, lavando los platos. I am washing the dishes. Okay, and I'd like you guys to try numbers 2, 3, and 4. In number 2, you see my dad is cutting the grass. Número 3, Julia is making the bed. And in número 4, las chicas, the girls are cleaning. Okay, I'll give you a minute to try those, and then I'll show you what they would look like. Julia is making the bed. Julia está haciendo la cama. Hacer is an ER verb, so I-E-N-D-O on the end. 4, las chicas están limpiando. The girls are cleaning. Okay, they are, limpiando is an AR verb, so ando on the end. All right. Okay, so now you've had a couple more examples. You can go ahead on to page 2. Page 2 in the guided notes first asks you to just write the present participle of the verb. So again, just the ing form of the verb here. So that's taking a verb like ayudar, AR verb, dropping the AR and adding ando. An ER verb like hacer and adding yendo, and an IR and adding yendo. Okay, so you can do that for 1 through 8. Once you've done that, those past or present participles can be used with any form of estar to say who is doing something. So for example, if I wanted to know who is taking out the garbage, I could say ¿Quién está sacando la basura? Sacando will always be sacando. If I want to say I am taking out the garbage, yo estoy sacando la basura, my brother is taking out the garbage. Mi hermano está sacando la basura. Okay? Part D and the third page of the notes are very much the same. You see actually the same exact picture here of a family doing different activities to get ready for a barbecue. In each of them, even if there is some repetition, I would like you to complete the sentences. Okay, so in the modelo 1 through 5, you'll notice that they give you the second part of the sentence, la basura unas hamburguesas, and they want you to fill in the correct form of the verb estar. Again, that is the verb you're conjugating, conjugated verb, plus the ing form. So that is adding ando to AR and AR verbs and endo to ER and IR verbs. Okay, and they give you the verb they want you to add it to here. And then for the third page, you have to do a little bit more work. For this, they want you to complete the entire sentence. And I'd ask you to be creative. Use something different than what you see over here. Perhaps tell me when they do these things. Okay, when are they doing it? Where they are doing it, or even perhaps with who they are doing something. Okay, so for example, in the picture here we have la madre. We can see ella está cocinando las hamburguesas. She is cooking the hamburgers. I could say la madre está preparando la comida. Mom is preparing the food. There are various expressions I could use. I could say la madre Está cocinando en el jardín. She's cooking in the garden. Okay, so try to mix them up a little bit and use some different vocab there in 1 through 7. When you finished my guided notes and the exercises that are here, you can go ahead and submit that to the assignment in Schoology. The second thing I want you to do today is to take a little bit of a look at the culture of Spanish houses and how they're designed. There is in the Schoology folder, Session 9 today, an assignment called Casas Españolas, and you will find a reading from the textbook there that explains some of the characteristics of houses in Spanish-speaking countries, and then there's a few questions that go with it. And on the second page of that document, you will find an advertisement for a house that is for sale. And then based on that advertisement, you will read about what 3 people are looking for and see who would be most likely to purchase that house based on their needs and wants. Okay, and then you'll submit that as well. When you are finished with today's work, we've pretty much wrapped up Chapter 6B, so I would ask you to go back to the previous Quizlets, the previous notes. Again, make any revisions that are necessary and resubmit those for some credit, and also to make sure that you understand the material. There will be an assessment on 6B in Session 10. All right, thanks for everything. If you need anything, send us a message. Adios.